How about now? Can you hear me? And looks like it's picking up now. All right. Well, that's always a fun start. So haven't really done anything yet, but we are about to go through the tutorial section of Obsidian Fieldlands. Hopefully we can get through all of this. Yes, another question is, would you guys like me to keep reading, or do you want me to just make sure you guys have enough time to read it on your own? Probably a little bit faster if you guys read it on your own, though. Are you ready to get started? I sure am. Oh, Professor, is something wrong? Ah, well, you see, Captain Silene got hold of you. Captain Silene got hold of me after you left. Fine either way. Probably easier if I don't then, because then I'm not having to lean forward to make out all the stuff. Let's see. The professor is basically being held responsible if anything happens to us. Although, he's not the only one. I love how confident she is in us. All right. Let's get through to our first task. I have to say, I do enjoy the aesthetics of this game. It's really the first Pokemon where the environment actually looks like environment. We can truly appreciate Bidoof in all of its glory. to be really careful. These Pokemon are super dangerous, and they're a little bit scary to approach. So what I'm gonna do is gonna sneak up, walk on. Oop. Very difficult task. So in this tutorial, what they don't tell you is that they're teaching you that there are 3 different types of Pokemon in terms of their behavior. Bidoof is very curious and will observe you but not really react. Starly here is the second type, which is a skittish type. They will run away as soon as they spot you. So you have to be quick or stealthy. Also, unlike the previous games where you have to be careful of Pokemon hiding in the tall grass, we have reversed this play. And now the Pokemon have to be afraid of people in the tall grass. That should do it. And on to our last type, the aggressive Pokemon. Oh, wait, first we have to learn how to throw stuff at trees. It's a very important skill. Please don't command your dog to run into trees for you so that you can collect berries, but I'm a trained professional. Anytime that you throw a Pokemon out that is near another resource, they will automatically go after it. And they'll do that before attacking anything, so you have to sometimes be careful when you're trying to throw a Pokemon to engage a battle, because sometimes they'll just, oh, here's a rock. That's what you were wanting, right? Alright, yeah, more or less. Typical tutorial stuff. Yeah. So normally you can still sneak up on these guys, but this game forces you into a situation where it won't run away from you, and it is aggressive. When they're aggressive, at this wrong button. At this point, why am I running away? The answer is I'm hitting the wrong button. At this point in time, my options are to fight it or to not, but I don't really have any options of catching it and succeeding in my mission if I don't fight it. Oh wait, yeah, I need to catch it. Oh look, another one. Very convenient. Gonna be honest, in most games when there's a catching tutorial, I just don't if I don't have to. But this game, they do make you catch the first 3 Pokemon. But you also want to catch a whole bunch of them in general, so it's not like it's a bad thing. and the utter surprise that I am capable of handling Pokemon. This is wonderful. Thank you, Professor Oak. Congratulations. So, Pokemon, or people are successful at catching Pokemon, but it's difficult for them. This challenge was to catch 3 Pokemon, which no one had been able to do all in one go previous to me. Mostly because they're afraid of them. That's my guess. The established lore is that humans and Pokemon have a very tentative partnership at this period in time. Which, I mean, Pokemon would be pretty scary when you think about it. There's a lot of running back and forth to the base camp and relaying information, oftentimes getting sidetracked and pulled away to manage some other quest. Going straight in. Ah, thank you. I knew you believed in me. As a reward for not dying, I have been given this wonderful satchel. And the right to stay in their village. And work for them. And clothing, apparently. Hi. Bye. So early in the game, I can't even dodge roll. But now I can finally look the part. Can't even see the difference there. Oh, it's contacts. Okay. I am employed. Although my working conditions are a little bit rough. Ah, yes. The iconic hat. Otherwise, how would you know that this is a game that's based off of the Diamond and Pearl games? Am I going the right way? Yeah, that's what I thought. It is a little bit tricky not being able to read the text, but I roughly know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, most Pokemon would be very terrifying. Although Charizard might be less intimidating than you'd think, because he's kind of short. Yes, sir. This is not a normal thing that you do when you greet someone. I think I can throw him. He doesn't look too bad. Oh. I lost the battle. Time to go wake up in a Pokemon Center someplace. I do like that a lot of places that exist in the Diamond and Pearl games are also present here, since the Sinnoh region did come from the Hisui region. Jubilife Village in this game is Jubilife City in the others. Luckily, Hypnos do not exist in this region. Although Drifloon do. Be careful. If you've played one, you've basically played the other. The only one that actually is different would be Platinum, which they didn't make a remake of. Their loss, I suppose. And now I can make a Pokeball by hand. I wish they'd teach you this in the new games. Apparently isn't very hard. I love how there's that Haber just floating in the background. It's probably sleeping. The basics of crafting. If they remade Platinum now, people would be so upset. Okay. Be a little bit too late. Besides, everyone's on to Pokemon Z or AZ, which I'm hoping I can finish this game before then, but we'll see. We don't have an official release date. This game can be a little bit long. Even if I'm not finished with this game by then, I do plan on starting to do streams of that. Probably just be on a different day of the week. Okay. That was a very difficult mission. Oh, that's a good question. I mean, a big one I think would be multiplayer, but it's hard to figure out how to make multiplayer functional within the franchise. At least from a non-competitive stance. They sort of implemented some of that with Scarlet and Violet, but you couldn't do any of the story stuff together, and that's what a lot of people would have liked. Being able to team up with someone and do double battles would kind of be amazing, though. Person hands me the oldest Pokedex in the world. I just want to know how I knew what the numbers of some of the later Pokemon are. Aren't I making this thing up as I go? Hey, you. Do a thing for me. And now we have mini quests. This particular guy wants a Wurmple. It can be helpful to pick up various quests in case you can complete them just as you go. Definitely saves some time in the long run if you're trying to complete the game. Or, you know, get some goodies along the side. How do I feel about fairy types? I was initially a little apprehensive about them because I wasn't sure how they were going to be presented, but I'm okay with them. I feel like it was a good decision that they went back to some of the old roots of fairy tales, which is why they're weak to iron, for example. I also do think that dragon needed a little bit of a nerf, so it makes sense. If they just made all of the fairy type Pokemon just the cute ones that weren't really functional in battle, I would have definitely had a different opinion. Wait. Did I just complete this guy's quest? That's what I thought. See, I've already finished one. And... Yep. It has sword shapes for the inner ears. Amazing, right? Alright. Now we can actually get out into the world and do some stuff. Catch some Pokemon, level things up, make some mistakes. That's pretty funny. Cast form's probably pretty low on the list of usefulness. Its ability could potentially do some stuff in double battles, but there's almost always other Pokemon that perform better in those areas. Not every Pokemon that we get is actually a good Pokemon in terms of usefulness, but also that sort of makes sense for a world. Not everything is going to fill its spot in a way that's better than anything else. Alright, I wasn't paying attention. What does this person need? Oh, they're teaching me to dodge roll. Let's see. What new type would I like? That's a good question. I guess, what is missing from the Pokemon world? I mean, fungi would be an interesting one, but I feel like that's already well established as either poison or grass. I don't know, it might be cool to see something that's like based off of a void or space or something. I'd probably go with that as a additional type. What common item would I like to see as a Pokemon? I'm trying to think of what hasn't been used, either fully as a Pokemon or inspiration of a Pokemon. Not all of them are very obvious. Like, we've had a couple Pokemon that are based off of tanks. But what would be new and unique that would be actually good? My brain's going to like a Pokemon that has some bioluminescence and resembles a lamp or something, but I think as an actual answer that wouldn't be very interesting. I can't say I've really thought about inanimate object Pokemon that I would want to see. You know, actually, a mirror might be a cool one. Although, I mean, we sort of have one of those already, but I mean like a functional mirror. Candelabra. I could see that being, oh wait. Is that too close to, Lampent? We kind of have a Pokemon that's like that. There we go. Wormhole. The concept of bankruptcy as a Pokemon. I'm sorry, they've done that one too. That's Golden Go. You collect 999 coins and then it robs you of them. Oh wait, also Gen 1 they had that Porygon. You have to gamble your money away, which is like, you either have to gamble or you have to trade more than the maximum amount of money just to get the one Pokemon. If you're playing red version. If you're playing blue version, it's not that bad. It's only about half as much. On the one hand, it's kind of amazing how many concepts have been explored through Pokemon, but on the other hand, there's over 1,000, so it's not that surprising. Do I want to try for big giant Rapidash here? Eevee? Did I miss an Eevee? I'm gonna be honest, Eevee and Bidoof look kind of similar when I've got this. Oh, we need more Eevee? Well, yes, we do need more Eevee. It hasn't seen me. Go for the berry. It's right there. It won't even let me try. That's a shame. Actually, you're probably thinking of one of the Pokemon Mystery Dungeon games. Now, I've done a few all EV teams before. It's really not like the best in terms of battle strategy, but it's also really fun just to have a bunch of the evolutions. Ooh. Rude. Well, there was no winner to this battle. What does this teach us? Mystery dungeons are pretty fun, but I tend to avoid them just because they have some really long periods of time before you can save the game effectively. And I'm talking like, sometimes it's hours where because you can't save mid-dungeon except for like this temporary save where you can only load right up to that point. And you can't leave. It's a little bit of a pain. But the games themselves are really fun. Alright, Yeah, I know a lot of people were hoping for another Mystery Dungeon game from the Pokemon Direct that we had, but people have pointed out that it hasn't really been that long since we got a Mystery Dungeon game, even if it was a remake. Little hint for Weasel here. If you see one that's a decent size, you probably want to hold on to it. There's a mission for getting a tall one, and they're kind of a pain to get. Let's see. Making my way over here because sometimes there's a rare Pokemon or two. sort of go for first person in this game. Let's see. This is what it's like wearing a fursuit. If you can throw it at them at the right angle, you get a bonus to catching them. Explorers of Time. I think I played through Red Rescue Team. It was a long time ago. Yay, Ponyta. Are there any upcoming non-Pokemon games I'm excited for? I'm sure there are. Think about it. I don't play, despite all this, I don't play that many games, mostly because of time and obligations. Elder Scrolls 5? Yeah, when that comes out in 2030, I might give that a try. 2030 is not even that far out. My joke fails. I did enjoy playing Elder Scrolls 4 and, Elder Scrolls 5 is Skyrim. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's going to be coming out with the Switch too. Because, you know, it always does. I think that's enough time of not having my starter go heal up. Oh yeah, what did you want? Yeah, I'm not surprised you'd be interested in Metroid Prime. Wow. I've already been going an hour. Does it feel like it's been an hour to you guys? Hmm? Yay. Getting lots of Bidoof. Yeah, pretty close. Hmm. You have to be careful where you stand in this game, because, like... Oh, doesn't work with that attack. But... you react to, the Pokemon attacks. See, that's the secret Bidoof evolution, is just get enough of them that it's one amalgamation. That guy's still after me. Okay. Wait, I'm out of Pokeballs. I gotta remember which button to hit for this. Okay, there's that one. Oh. Okay. I forget how little you have early in the game. I hope I haven't just been throwing berries at things for a while. This would be an awful time to run into a shiny also. It would likely be one I already have, so I wouldn't be too upset. What do you think? Call a group of Bidoof. Well, based off of our normal animal group conventions, it would probably be something like a blockade. Or maybe an unaware. It rolls right off the tongue. Oh, I thought that was a tree that I would get berries from. Oh well. That's a tree where I can get berries from. This guy's gonna tell me about, well, she's gonna tell me about a Pokemon I already have. But to be fair, you can never have enough Weasel. If I remember correctly, a group of Weasel should be called a business, right? Well, I guess that's ferrets, not otters. How aggressive this was. I caught it. Very scary. So a group of beavers is a colony. That's interesting. I feel like a group of Mankeys should be called a problem. Okay, now I can craft things. Well, now I can craft things on the go, I should specify. Potions. I'm gonna be honest, I almost never use potions in this game. By the time I need them, I can make better ones. Okay. You know, early game, there's not really a good Pokemon for fighting Shinx. I guess Bidoof's not too bad with rollout, but the best you can do is neutral damage to them. Though it's not too far before you can get access to Geodude, and that makes it a little easier. So I think a group of Eevee should be called something like a Fuzzball or something. I don't know, they're always very fluffy. So, in case you don't know, in this game, sometimes objects will have like sparkles around them. And that usually means that you're going to get better materials or some rarer materials out of the objects. Always go toward the sparkles. Well, I think I've successfully made it out of the tutorial. That's pretty good. An evolutionary crisis. Canonically, the reason that Eevee has so many different evolutions is that its DNA is unstable. So it ends up being susceptible to things in its environment. That's the canonical explanation, but in reality that would not... Unstable DNA does not usually adapt well to the environment. Though having diverse DNA does. It's one of the reasons why flies are so resilient. They have as much as 10% variation in the DNA from one to the next. If I recall. I don't want the internet canceling me because it's a few percentage points off. Getting paid to catch Pokemon. It's quite a different time. Why, thank you. I try. I have an interest in animals, and that blends into an interest in Pokemon. I guess, you know, there might be some aspects to why I ended up as a furry as well. But trivia is always fun to learn, pick up on, and relay at appropriate times. Early on in this game, there is quite a bit of like going back and forth between these different areas. Alright. Which one does he deserve? I'll give him this one. I was debating shiny hunting one for him, but honestly that's kind of a slow process until you get the shiny charm. Might be a little bit boring to watch. Ooh. What name should I pick? I'm personally a little bit of a fan of Eugene. Especially because this is a male Wurmple. There, was that an appropriate picking number 3? That is a little bit of an amusing quest line that we'll get to watch the progress of. He doesn't do that yet. Alright, look at all the Pokemon I've seen. I'm officially rank 1. So, heavy balls, I know that they have a better catch rate, but in my opinion, I tend to prefer not to get close enough for them to be useful. My first playthrough, I used a lot of the what are they called? The fly balls? The light opposite equivalent. The second time I played through this game, I just mostly stuck with the traditional set. Feather balls, thank you. Yeah, I can tell you about the DNA of flies, but what are the things I use in this game again? The mind is a funny thing of what it wants to remember and what it doesn't. So, interesting thing I noticed is that the first time that you go out here, there really isn't a day-night cycle. Later on, when you go out into the wild areas, you end up with a different set of Pokemon based off of the time of day, which is a nice feature. I have noticed that there are several Pokemon games that will have it specifically daytime for the early parts of the game. Makes sense since there's some continuity that they're trying to do of people being up and alert. Our character, on the other hand, will just not need to sleep ever if he doesn't want to. Talking through the dialogue, but there is a lot of dialogue to read. The next day, Hmm. I like how this game gives you the illusion of choice sometimes. It used to be that you could say, like, yes or no, and if you said no, they'd be like, oh, come on, be serious. It's like, they eventually changed it to having two options of yes. Usually it's one option that's more sure than the other. Although, we have gone over an hour. We're at about an hour and 20 minutes from the intended start time, at least. This seems like a good spot to call it for the night. I'm probably going to start doing these weekly. I think I'm in a good spot to do that. Let's see if we can make some progress. But thou must, huh? Yes. Alright. Just gonna... look through the settings, apparently, and then save the game. Alright. I am going to call it here. I hope you all enjoyed this video and stream, and thank you for tagging along and chatting and asking questions. I've enjoyed answering them. I will see you all next week, hopefully. Bye. Sorry. Then go to take my time ending the stream. Alright. See ya.